What's going on, Bears fans? Coming back out to another edition of Bear Down Forever. Now, I know everybody's psyched about the Bears having the first pick in the draft, and I'm one of them. I'm excited about it. I'm ecstatic about it. I'm happy. So, I do believe that the Bears are going to trade down. I don't think that a lot of this other stuff that people are talking about is really going to happen. And I will say this: color me extremely, extremely, extremely surprised if that was to happen. So I just want to say, I will be starting this. You know what? Let's just do it right now. So of course, this is gonna be an unrealistic draft, because some of the trades the computer gave me, I took it. It happened. So I'm saying this is the unrealistic mock draft. So let's get started. So with the first pick, I had the Bears trading down with Houston and received the number 2 pick, the number 12 pick, number 33 pick, and two 2024 first round picks. So with the second pick, I tried to trade it. I thought I'd be able to trade back. I did it before, and I was able to trade back again at 2, but this time it wasn't happening. And I normally try and let the computer dictate the trades, but I did try and do this one physically. So with the second pick, I selected Will Anderson Jr., the edge rusher out of Alabama. He's 6'4", weighs 235 pounds, little undersized, but he is an explosive pass rusher, has exceptional athleticism. His power, his hand usage is amazing. He's a devastating force around the edge and when attacking the interior. And right now, it feels like he's any quarterback. I'm saying, it feels like any team other than a quarterback needy team should take him with the number 1 overall pick. And we know the Bears have the number 1 overall pick, and they are not a quarterback needy team, contrary to what some other folks. So with the next pick for the Bears, pick number 12, I have the Bears selecting Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. Now, he's 6'4", weighs 294 pounds. I believe he's gonna kick inside the guard because I think he's gonna have short arms, and just the way he just looks like he's gonna be better suited to play guard in NFL. And either way, if he does play tackle, he has athleticism. He's explosive. He has great agility, quick feet work, and he has multiple facets in his game that shows that he can be a great offensive lineman, whether he be tackle or guard. So I'm not I'm not upset about. I would not be upset if the Bears were to take him and everything. So I say, hey, let's make this happen. And so with pick number 33, right, with the next pick number 33, I took Jackson Smith Najimba, wide receiver out of Ohio State. He's 6 feet tall, weighs 198 pounds. He has good acceleration off the line and can use fast feet to gain speed as he heads upfield. He flashes the capacity for a great explosion, especially when he's on the attack, either surging into space or pursuing blockers. And when he's coming off an injury, so I believe that's why he fell to the second round for this draft for me. But as I looked, I just could not pass him up. He was sitting there. I was just like, hey, we don't know what his combine stats are going to be because of the injury. And we also don't know if he's going to be fully healed by that time anyway. I know there was some reports saying that he was fully healed already. He just didn't want to play. I don't know. I don't like to jump into stuff like that. And I probably shouldn't even mention it. But I think that he's going to be electric in the NFL, and if he's available and he's sitting there and the Bears take him, I will be ecstatic. So next pick number 54, I selected Cedric 54. I selected Cedric Van Pran, offensive center from Georgia. He's 6'4", weighs 311 pounds, and he has good pursuit speed, and He closes ground with quick feet and fleet footed acceleration when he moves with great energy and urgency and is always amped up to attack. And he's smooth laterally when he moves, when he's attacking rushers across the formation. And his overall mobility is a trait that he can rely on with consistency. Um, Now, the center position is I know a lot of people are speculating about the center position, me as well, because the Bears brought in Lucas Patrick to be the center, and he played, I believe, 2 series the whole season because he dealt with a lot of injuries this past season, and it's a possibility that he can come in and he could be great at center. We just don't know because we haven't seen him do it in Chicago. He played center at his last stop with the Cheesy Heads, but they brought him in here. They were high on him, so I think that he has an opportunity to get that position. But I do believe that the Bears will bring in another center. I don't know if they're going to bring Musty back. They signed him he was on a 1 year deal this year, so he is eligible for free agency. So I don't know if they're going to bring him back or what they're going to do. I will say this: he was a very serviceable backup, and he just wasn't projected to start as many games as he started. I mean, when you have a backup, you want to have a great backup and hope that he never plays, unless you're in garbage time or you're blowing the team out, and so that's what you really hope for and everything. So next pick was pick number 64. I selected Henry to linebacker out of Alabama. He's 6'2", weighs 227 pounds, and he's explosive, and he has excellent range. He can track across the formation and neutralize zone runs. The Alabama linebacker also moves with excellent twitch and can throttle up and down with suddenness. He's a spry lateral athlete who can cover ground and match runners with an energetic shuffle steps. So I like him. I think about any linebacker that I mentioned or any linebacker that I think about. I always try to picture him being paired with Jack Sanborn. Jack Sanborn was such a surprise the way he came out and he played extremely well. But the surprising part of it is that he was undrafted because that's the way he played at Wisconsin. So I look at it like that, and I'm like, wow, this guy is really amazing. So I really enjoy the fact that the Bears have Jack Sanborn, and I think if they could put him with another linebacker who is intense, who's pretty good coverage and everything, that would be really, really, really awesome. So next pick number 100, I selected Tyler Steen, offensive tackle out of Alabama. Steen is 6'5", weighs 315 pounds. He's a pulling blocker. He has an above average range. He's shown to reach the A gap and turn up field with explosiveness to quickly um, close the B gap and drive power laterally. It also helps that his physical build and natural power as a crucial part of his game. The Bears like to pull their tackles. There have been plenty of times when Braxton Jones has been out in the lead blocking in front of a running back or in front of Justin Fields, and I mean he's looked really good out there. When he's out there, and I know some people are like, yeah, but he's blocking corners and safeties, and yeah, but you know what? Sometimes it's hard for those big guys to get a hand on them fast twitchy guys. But Braxton Jones went out there and he did it. More often than not, he beat him. Now, of course, Braxton Jones does have to get stronger, so he can be more prepared for next season. But we're not talking about him right now. Right now, we're talking about this mock draft. But I just said that because I know people are gonna make comment about some of his weaknesses, which he spoke about himself. So but yeah, so it's some tackles in free agency that I know the Bears are definitely going to look at them. But I do believe that the Bears want somebody that's going to be more athletic, who can get out there and pull and make plays down the field. So um, unless they just get somebody for a great price. I mean, but maybe they'll. It's to say they sign another left tackle and they move Braxton Jones over to right. But I do think that they're going to stick within the scheme. So we'll see who with some players that we don't know. Some players down will be available that we just don't know about right now. So we'll see what happens when the time comes and everything. So the next pick was pick number 131. Have the Bears selecting Zach Pickens, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Now, he stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighs 305 pounds. He's a decent mover who shows surprising quickness for a 300 pounder. When chasing the ball carrier and pursuit, he looks the part with natural size and filled out frame with good body thickness. The lateral agility to go balance to cover two gaps, and he also shows some good closing bursts when moving down in pursuit. Now, next pick number 152. I traded down from 132. I received pick 152 and 160 in this year's draft. So with pick number 152, I selected Kendre Miller, running back out of TCU. Miller's All Big 12 first team honoree. He rushed for 1,319 yards on 17 touchdowns, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. The 6'2", 220-pounder flourished after splitting time with other backs. He enjoyed an excellent and effective 3-year career at TCU, totaling 2,410 rushing yards on 361 attempts, with 26 touchdowns and an average of 6.7 yards per carry. He also added 29 receptions for 229 yards, and one touchdown for his career. Now the next pick was pick number 157, which I acquired through trade. I got pick 157 and 221. So I selected Parker Washington, wide receiver out of Penn State. He's 5'10", weighs 215 pounds. He's a catch and run threat and a creative runner who has good vision in the open field. He'll be an option to return kicks. We all know that's going to be up for grabs, especially with the way that Velus Jones Jr. had some issues fielding punts last season. He has a knack for getting open. And he's a quarterback's best friend. Because sometimes they just need to pass, just toss the ball in his direction and he'll come down with it, which is always a great thing to have a receiver with strong hands and extremely competitive. And Washington has an innate sense of timing when it comes to elevating and high pointing balls. So we definitely need to make some moves when it comes to the playmakers on the team. I did. I'm a stand by what I said before, but that don't mean you can't improve. I do think that the Bears brought in some good talent. I believe that they brought in players who had some stuff to prove and who should have been hungry and who were hungry. But I'm just saying, if you bring in some players who have like a reputation for having good ball skills, for making great catches and stuff like that, that's always a great thing, because there's quite a few games where players just drop the ball with that. They I'm not gonna say easy catches, because you know I know I couldn't have made the catch. So I'm not one of them dudes who gonna say, oh, no. But anyway, next pick, pick number 160, I selected Brenton Cox Jr., edge rusher out of Florida. He's 6'3", weighs 252 pounds. He's a technically sound and consistent tackler, breaking down and wrapping up with the length and power to swallow up ball carriers. Cox has strong core and powerful hands to shed blockers. He also shows excellent instincts with the ability and to quickly locate the ball carrier, and he can move laterally and chase in pursuit. A tough and violent tackler with a non-stop motor, he also shows good awareness when dropping into coverage. So, which is also something that's great to have when you have somebody that can dropping the coverage and everything. So you know. So
Next
pick number
pick number
196.
196. I took Taki Smith, safety out of Georgia. He's 5'10", weighs 198 pounds. He's routinely in position to impact the game, whether it's against the run or the pass. Smith is equally skilled in both facets of the game. He regularly makes plays on the ball and in coverage, despite his diminutive stature. The junior safety is sticky in coverage, showcasing impressive change of direction ability and mirror and recovery. Against the run, his tackling ability and intelligence ensure he consistently makes the play, which is always a great thing to have for a safety or anybody on defense. So I don't know if the Bears are going to bring DHC back. I would love for them to, but this could be a good way for them to draft a player in the later rounds who has some potential, and they can groom him in the system, and so they groom in the system, and he can learn the ways. He can learn the hits principle, and he can just be a playmaker in the future. Or I mean, who right now, because who knows what's going to happen with Eddie Jackson. I hope Eddie Jackson stays around. I really do, but we don't know. So we just a way to bolster the secondary some more, because, and again, I do think the secondary played very well this past season. So I I look forward to them making progress, and bringing players in to to help fill in some of these spots. So my last pick in this draft, and with my last pick number 221, I selected Malik Cunningham, quarterback out of Louisville. He's 6'1", weighs 190 pounds. He got his first action as a freshman in Louisville, and then he took over as a full-time starter in his sophomore season. He completed 63% of his passes for 5,151 yards and 43 touchdowns. Um, he has a good arm. He's able to make all throws in the NFL. He gets the ball out quickly, making split decisions, good on short to intermediate level accuracy, demonstrating the ball placement to allow receivers to run after the catch. An athletic quarterback who is a threat to leave the pocket and gain positive yards at any time, possessing very good vision, balance, and elusiveness, and deceptive speed and power as a runner. Um, I made this pick because I do believe the Bears should have a quarterback who is, um, God forbid, if Justin Fields goes down, you have somebody who can be a threat to run the ball, because Justin Fields, when he's out there, it's always that, like, he can beat you with his arm, he can beat you with his legs. I know he still has some stuff to prove, especially when it comes to his arm and everything, but he's shown so much that he can make some amazing throws and everything. I'm like, so um, I think that some of the quarterbacks that they have on the roster behind Justin, and they don't, to me, they just don't fit the bill as to what the Bears are trying to do. um, as far as having Justin Fields as a quarterback, I think you should have a quarterback who, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's just like Justin, because I think he's in a class by himself, but you should have a quarterback who can play the same style that he plays. Like, if everything breaks down, he's a threat to take off and run and make something good happen. So I like that. So I do believe that the Bears can make some moves like that. I do believe that they will, and they should take a quarterback. And I also think that if you take a quarterback in the draft, and you can groom in the system, so he's also a trade chip for later. Now, say he when he does play, he plays well, and teams always need quarterbacks. Teams always can use a quarterback. Now you got a trade chip. You never know. I mean, you can draft this guy in the seventh round, and you may be able to get like a second round pick for him. I mean, you never can tell. I mean, even if I don't care if you draft the guy in the seventh round, or you sign an undrafted free agent, and somebody trades for him, to say they trade even a third or fourth round pick, you're still getting more than what you picked them up for. So I think it's a good thing. So yeah, so
that's my draft and everything. So I think that the Bears the Bears can make some things happen with this draft. So I'm just gonna do a quick recap. So number two, I selected Will Anderson Jr., the edge rusher out of Alabama. Number 12, Peter Skoronsky, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. Number 33, Jackson Smith Njigba, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Number 54, Cedric Van Pran, offensive center out of Georgia. Number 64, Henry 1212, linebacker out of Alabama. Number 100, Tyler Steen, offensive tackle out of Alabama. Um, Number 131, Zach Pickens, defensive tackle, South Carolina. Number 152, Kendrick Miller, running back out of TCU. Number 157, Parker Washington, wide receiver out of Penn State. Number 160, Ben Cox Jr., edge rusher out of Florida. Number 196, Tyke Smith, safety out of Georgia. And number 221, Malik Cunningham, quarterback out of Louisville. And we also got two 2024 first round picks and a 2024 seventh round pick in this draft. So let me know what you think about the draft. I'm going to do more drafts. I'll probably do another draft after the playoffs is over, and we have the correct draft order. Where, the full correct draft order and everything. I was going to do another draft, but I realized I did it like before the games was finished and the draft picks were out of whack. I was like, so I had to do another one real quick. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Bear down forever. We're gonna be here forever. I really appreciate y'all checking me out and being here with me. It means the world to me. It always does. I thank y'all. Cannot thank y'all enough for the time that you spend with me. I really do. It means the world to me. I love y'all. And again, thank y'all for checking me out. Bear down forever. All right, y'all. That's it. Tell what you think about the draft. Bear down forever. Chicago Bears got number one pick in the draft. Let's go. Hope they get a boatload of picks when they trade it. All right, y'all. I'm out of here.